Sauti Zetu show is here with Michael Majok at Lofty Spaces commemorating the newest country in the world, the Republic of Southern Sudan.
Yes, yes.
And Michael, can you tell us a little bit about the event we're having today?
Well, the event we're having today is called RoSS Fashion Show, and the fashion show is just for us to showcase South Sudanese designers, models, and our brilliantly talented youth of South Sudan. So, yeah.
So today you're having a fashion show, and tomorrow there's a fashion show as well?
Tomorrow there's a fashion show, and basically that fashion show is including the whole entire Africa. And the reason why we did it that way is that, South Sudan being the newest country, we couldn't have done that by ourselves. We had to have all the entire African nations there with us to help us gain our independence. So we did an entire African show.
So what countries are being represented today?
Tomorrow,
actually, I'm sorry.
The countries that are being represented tomorrow are Nigeria, Kenya, Congo, and of course South Sudan. So.
Okay. And you have an organization. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the organization is called Winchins Corporations, and it's basically something that we started, my family and I, a couple years ago. Since we moved to the United States, we always talked about starting something that we can eventually take back home to South Sudan. So it's basically, it has 4 sectors. One of the sectors is of course our entertainment sector, and with the entertainment sector, what we're doing is we're doing the RoSS Fashion Show, and we're trying to build up and do other events in the future. After that, we're also having our real estate sector. In the real estate sector, we're going to build it of course back at home, where we can build homes, condos, apartments, all of that to kind of help those people back at home. And then we have our healthcare sector. Healthcare sector, just basically helping people back at home. And after that, we have our education sector. We want to build something where we can have Ivy League schools in South Sudan, Ivy League schools in all over Africa.
Wow.
So with that, we want to make sure that Winchins Corporations can be the first corporations back in South Sudan doing this. So.
That's very impressive. How old are you, by the way?
I'm actually 22.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
And so are you going to be using the African community here to facilitate that?
Yes. Well, actually, this coming October, I'll be a part of the East African Chamber of Commerce. Okay. And with the East African Chamber of Commerce, basically what we do is we talk about all the things that are going on in East Africa, development-wise, and what's needed. So with that, I'll actually be the youth representative from South Sudan, bringing in all the South Sudanese youth to come and join in our meetings and our discussions, and to basically kind of like connect and meet with some of the East Africans and all other Africans too.
And you said real estate.
Yes.
Back home.
Real estate back at home, exactly. We want to build apartments, we want to build condos, we want to build homes that we can help those people that are less fortunate back at home, help them up first, bring them up, and then from there we'll make it something that after they're established themselves, then they can start learning how to deal with bills and deal with how real life works. So our main focus is to go there first and help them out first. After a couple of years, then we'll eventually just start billing them and all of that, basically. So, yeah.
And what are your thoughts on the 1-year independence?
Oh my God, the 1-year independence to me just means a lot. Like, my parents have been through so much to bring me and my siblings here. After this year, my mother just cried after the first year of independence. She cried in joy. She's like, all of this is something that we fought for so long.
Right.
And the fact that it's finally here, 1 year, it just means a lot. It means that all the time that our father passed away, my father's father passed away, my grandparents, all of them literally passed away in that war. So to my parents, they remember all of that, and they remember the reason why they made it out. And now they're trying to tell us that this is the reason why we made it out. Now you guys have to make it out of this country, go back home, and build home.
That's very impressive.
So yes,
it is very impressive.
Yeah, it means a lot to us. So.
Good. And what do you think of the new president? Do you think that he'll be able to move the country out of corruption and build it up?
Well, South Sudan being a brand new country, corruption is feeding into the country automatically,
right.
But our president, Salva Kiir, is doing the best job he can do to make sure that corruption is kept out of the country. Recently there's some stuff that was going on there with just some of the funds and all of that. And he really talked to the country, talked to the nation, and talked to the people of South Sudan. Let them know that in order for us to prosper as the next people, as the next leading people in Africa, we have to work together. He gave a really, really good speech on that. And to me, being the next generation, I really believe in what he says, and I really believe in what he's doing to help us get out of this corruption that's starting to lead into our country. So.
The event is about to start, and I know afterwards there's a big old party. Could you tell our viewers, where that's going to be and what's going to happen?
Yes. Well, actually, after this event tonight, we're all going to head out to Ayo Rock, or Eso Rock, as I just want to call it, It's off back in a couple miles from here. And basically that event, that's where we're going to showcase more of our Sudanese designers, more of our Sudanese models. And of course, one of our biggest artists right now, Mr. Yaba Angelosi. I had to make sure to bring him out here and really help us celebrate and bring South Sudan to the map here in Texas and of course to the world. And then tomorrow on Saturday, we're having our Nkira fashion show, where again, we're having all the South Sudanese designers and other African designers come and help us celebrate our country with a mannequin type of fashion show. It's not really a fashion show, but it's going to be our design. Our models are going to be standing and posing in Nkira garments.
Wow.
And then and then on Sunday we're having our kids fashion show that my sister, her name is Yom Suzanne Majuk, she actually designed about 30 outfits for a whole bunch of little kids.
Really?
Yes, 30
Wow.
outfits. She's been working very hard for the past 2 weeks, just non-stop sleeping, just working, you know. So on Sunday, we'll be down in Addison doing the kids fashion show from 5 to 8 o'clock. So, yeah.
Well, Michael, thank you very much for letting us interview you. I wish you all the best with your organization, and I hope to see you soon out there.
Definitely, sure will.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We are here with Yaba Angelosi. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, good. A Sudanese musician based out in Tennessee. Could you tell us a little bit about your music?
Well, my music started back home in South Sudan.
Okay.
That's where I was born. And as the time grew by, I started in church as a boy choir member. So I used to sing and play guitar in the church. And it went on from there to Egypt, where my parents moved there. From Egypt, we moved down to USA. And kind of started out in church, doing gospel music. And as the time grew by, due to the fact that my country been through a lot of suffering, I decided to take my music and how can I use my music to inspire my people. So ever since then, dedicated my music for South Sudan, and just been taking it from there. And the support been good over the past four years.
4 years. So your career has been over 4 years?
Yes, it's been 4 years. Yes.
Okay. Has it been a struggle to start? What's the difference back home and here?
It's always difficult to start. First, building your fan base. You don't know what kind of audience you want to reach sometimes, and you don't know if they're gonna like your music or not. It's a lot of difficulties, and also financial. You know, it's also a big role. You have to work, you have to go to school, and at the same time doing music. So it's sometimes difficult when I started for me. But as time grew by, it became a little much easier because my people started supporting me through my journey, and you know, not just supporting, you know, clapping hand, but also financially. So it's been good. Back home also, the industry is still developing due to the fact, you know, my country been through a lot of war and stuff. So it's been hard for the musicians to get established. But now that we have our brand new country, 1 year.
Congratulations.
So thank you. So, you know, in the next 5, 6 years, 7, perhaps 10 years, you know, South Sudan music will start blooming and people will start to recognize South Sudan musicians.
So where do you want your music to go in like the next 5 years? Do you want it, are you going to be based here, do you think? Will you go back home, or would you like to travel?
Definitely. I would like to go back home because it's a brand new country. We want to develop it, you know. And us being in the diaspora in the US and Canada, Australia, we have so much we learn from here. And I can take whatever I learned from this country, take it back home and help rebuild the industry of South Sudan music. So therefore I'm thinking 5 years from now, I should have a nice home, relax, you know, and enjoy myself back home. So I'm looking forward to it, definitely.
Okay. Could you sing a little something for us?
Yes. Yeah, I could sing something in dialogue of Arabi, which we call it Arabi Juba. A song called Salamu Alaikum is one of my favorite songs. It's basically mean peace be with you. It goes like this. Salamu salamu, salamu alaikum. Salamu salamu, salamu alaikum. Aya jama, salamu alaikum. Aya sosa, salamu alaikum.
Oh, that's nice. Oh my goodness. So where can we find your music?
You can find me in iTunes. If you go to itunes.com/Yaba Angelosi. Well, search Yaba Angelosi. That's YABA space ANGELOSI. I know it's a long name, but it has a great meaning. So Yaba Angelosi, iTunes. You can also find me a lot of online stores, Amazon MP3, Amazon, Napstar. If you just type in Yaba Angelosi in Google, you'll find me.
What's the name of your album?
I have 2 albums that I've released.
Okay.
First album called Survivor, which I dedicated to my nation. And basic speak out, it has messages of hope and peace, and just trying to liberate my people through my music. The second album, it's called Kalamsa. Well, basically, it's versatile. I try to reach out to the other African countries.
Okay.
Try to showcase my musical talent and stuff. So it's combination of Afrobeat, Zouk, Coupé décalé, whatever versatile style of music that a lot of African countries have. So try to combine it together.
Okay. So we have 2 albums out. When's the next album coming out?
Yes, good question. I'm currently in the studio right now working on my 3rd album, which I'm featuring some of the biggest guys.
Biggest guys?
From Africa. I have Jose Chameleon on it from Uganda.
Hey.
And also have Kesha from Congo on it.
Okay.
I'm still working things out with Flavor from Nigeria. So this album is gonna be unique. I'm planning on releasing sometimes in October. So I really wanna reach out to the African industry to kind of showcase that, we South Sudan have musicians too.
That's true.
So looking forward to it, be looking out to it. We don't have a title for it yet, but my favorite, so far is Rhythm of the Nile, due to the fact that Nile represents South Sudan. I wanted to just showcase my country through my music.
So if the rest of the album is like what we just heard, Salam Alaikum,
Salam alaikum, yes.
you definitely have to get that. I Know I Am, and Yaba Angelosi.
Yes.
Definitely look out for him on Amazon,
iTunes, Snapstar, just search it in Google, you'll find it.
Any concerts coming to Dallas?
Definitely, I had a concert last week here.
Okay.
And I decided to stay longer and show support to my brothers and sisters here with its organizers. So definitely I have a couple other shows coming up in Canada. My Canadian tour will start in 2 weeks. So we'll go back to Nashville, get prepared, and head out of the country.
There.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And we look forward to listening to more of your music.
Thank you so much.